and that's where I had to DNF it. Because I'm gonna tell you this right here, right now. I don't know if you guys don't know this, but I'm black.
Oh my god! Wow!
Is y'all motherfucking crazy? I know y'all crazy, but you that crazy? Okay. Okay. Instead, you thought it was okay to mention R. Kelly. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new,
What's up?
in today's video, I'm coming to you guys with my December wrap-up. I know it's a little late that I'm recording this and uploading this to you guys. It's currently January 7th, the day that I'm recording this, and you should get this, I want to say January 9th, Tuesday. But yeah, I had another plan on what video I was going to do, but I ended up canceling that plan, and yeah, so that's why it's taking me a little longer. Obviously, and also I split up my disappointing and best reads, like best books of 2023. I ended up splitting that video in half instead of uploading it as one whole video, so that's also a reason why this was pushed back, because if I would have kept that as one video, I would have ended up having this uploaded last week. But yeah, as you guys already know how these reading wrap-ups go, I pretty much talk to you guys about my DNFs, and then I go from my 1 star all the way up into my 5 stars. Now, when I was looking at my list as far as like the books that I ended up finishing in the month of December, I did pretty good that month. My goal was to read 10 books. I did not read 10 books because I don't know if you guys know, but my goal for 2023 was to read 100 books. Your girl ended up ending the year with 97 books. And so of course my goal was to read 10 books, because I guess going into December I only had read 90. I need to read the 10 so then I can go ahead and complete my goal for the year, but that was not the case. So yeah, I only read 7 books this month, which were pretty good, and I have to say, because the lowest rated book that I have is a 4.5 book. 4.5 on up, everything else is 5 stars. So 4.5 and then everything 5 stars. I think I did pretty damn good. Now, here's the kicker. Your girl had a lot of DNFs. Your girl was really fighting for her life trying to figure out what I wanted to read, what I was in the mood for, because I would read like a chapter of a book and then be like, okay, I don't want to continue this, and then I just like DNF it. So I have about 5 DNFs. 5 DNFs. Your girl, I was struggling this last month to try to figure out what I wanted to read, and none of them, some of them I thought I had, like, it's just so many different reasons on why I DNF books. Some I wasn't feeling, some of them I didn't really like the plot. But we'll figure that all out in this video, because again, I'm going to talk to you about my DNFs first. So yeah, with all that just being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Alright, you guys, so I'm just going to go ahead. I believe I have these in the correct order as far as like when I DNF'd these. I want to say I did. And the thing is, when I show you guys these books, this is how you're going to know your girl was just going all over the place. Like, you could tell I was really fighting for my life trying to figure out what I wanted to read and what I was in the mood for, because none of these books are like in one set genre. They're not. They're all over the place. Truly, honestly, all over the place. And then some of these books, well, one of them I know I DNF, it's just because, I don't know, it wasn't like anything personal. I just kind of stopped reading it and hopped into something else at the time. But yeah, it's all over the place. But anyways, number 1, the first book that I ended up DNFing in December was my Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I've learned when it comes to this book, because I ended up DNFing this on page 60. They don't have chapter numbers. It's really like, because it's set in like the past tense and present tense. If you guys don't know what this is, it is about exploring the psychological dynamics of the relationship between a precocious yet naive teenage girl and her magnetic and manipulative teacher, a brilliant, all-consuming read that marks the explosive debut of an extraordinary new writer. It's pretty much about this girl, Vanessa, who is pretty much being groomed by her teacher at a boarding school. Okay, so again, it is set in 2 different like time zones, like the 2000s and then in 2017, and it goes just back and forth. Okay, a con for why I did not this is something that it just, at this point, you guys should already know how I feel about books that do this. It had long chapters. I don't like books with long chapters. I've learned, especially if it's physical copy books like this, I cannot do it for the life of me. It's only been one author who has ever been able to keep my attention span to books that has long chapters, and that's been TJ Klune. He's the only one. He's the only author that I have read who has long chapters in his books, and I continue to read them because I just enjoy them and I love them. So he's the only one who's done it, and he probably the only one who can do it. Okay, so this one has long, I'm talking about 20-30 pages in a chapter before I get, like, if I'm starting the book in like the 2000s, because that's how it's pretty much, each chapter is titled. Like, it doesn't say chapter 1, chapter 2. It'll say like 2000, then 2015, 2017, stuff like that. That's how they pretty much label each chapter. If I start in 2000 on page 1, I'm not getting into, like, let's say 2017 until like page 30, 27. 27 damn pages, 30 pages in a chapter. I cannot. I physically can, but I just mentally cannot do it. I don't know why. I don't know why I be fighting for my life when it comes to these books that have long chapters, but that's already a red flag. Point blank, period. So that's the one thing where I cannot do it. I cannot push myself. The only way I can do it is, again, if it's TJ Klune books or if I'm reading on my Kindle. For some reason, when I'm reading on my Kindle, it's just, I don't know, and especially in the corner when you can see like how many more pages you have left, or like how much time you have left of reading. It's just something about that where it kind of just leaves my mind that I've read that many pages in one chapter for some reason, and compared to me actually holding the physical book. And then the font is small too. It ain't the biggest, it ain't the smallest, but it ain't the biggest either. So I'm just like, I can't. I don't know. I can't. But that happened. And then what I've learned when it comes to certain books like this, how do I say it? I want to say this in the most polite way. It's just very hard for me to read books where there's obviously a victim in the story, and the said victim doesn't realize or acknowledges that they are in fact a victim, and they kind of like coddle the abuser in a way. I can't read books like that. It just doesn't work for me. I can't. It just literally puts a fire under my ass. I cannot do it. It just irks the freak out of me. And I understand that, of course, towards the end she'll probably wake up to understanding that she was in fact abused and being manipulated and just hurt and stuff like that. Like, she'll eventually come to her senses. But bitch, I just don't have time, especially long ass chapters, long ass pages. I just don't have time. How long are we gonna take for you to get there? This is the same reason why it took me so long to read Grown from Tiffany D. Jackson. The same setting where the girl's being abused, and you kind of just continue to make excuses and at the end of the day protect your abuser, and it just, and let me say this, in a way I let it slide, because in the situation where like her and I forgot her name, but the main character in Grown, when they're kids and they're like that, it's like okay. And that's why Grown I'm more of a pass than this, because when she's obviously a kid, it's like it's a whole different ball game. Okay, she's a child. Of course, she's still gonna like think that this person is not abusing her, because at the end of the day, they're an adult, you're a child, and of course, children look to adults as like they don't suspect them to be abusive and you know hurting them in any way. You know, we're kind of taught to look at as adults as respect them as elders and respect them and everything like that. So of course you're not in the mindset of thinking that this person, especially your teacher, you know, is trying to put you in any harm's way. Of course, point blank, period. But then when we fast forward to like the time period of 2017, well, at this point this lady is a 30-something-year-old grown woman, y'all. She's grown. She is not a child no more, and she is still at her old age still making an excuse. And I understand she's a victim. I understand. I'm not taking that away from her. But baby, we damn near 30 something, 35, 33. I don't know how old she was. It wasn't no 20 something. It was 30 something. And it was a situation where another student that he had was coming out that the teacher had, you know, been inappropriate, sexually assaulted and stuff like that with her. And I guess the other girl who was coming out tried to get in contact with Vanessa, and Vanessa pretty much just like pushed her off. She even keeps in contact with the teacher, and it's like, yeah, she tried to email me on Facebook or chat with me or something like that. And he was like, did you like say anything to her? And Vanessa was like, no. And it's like, you're 30 something years old. When is it gonna click?
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
There's times when
like, when is it gonna click? And not only, it's not like nobody else knows. Like, she had a relationship with another dude who I guess who knows the situation that went down between Vanessa and the teacher, and he's even aware, like, you know, you were like taken advantage of and abused, right? And he's like, you are going to therapy, right, and getting help. And she's just kind of like pushing it off and shit. And it's just like, everybody knows you're a victim but you. And I'm just like, bitch, I don't have time. I don't have time. At 30 something years old, you don't get it. You still in La La Land, and you still thinking that, I don't know. And I understand because you got it inside of her when she was a kid, and you can kind of tell, like, she didn't have any friends. She had one friend, but they had a falling out over a boy or something like that, and that happened. And then so she doesn't really have any friend when she got into a like a quote unquote close relationship with the teacher. So you understand, she doesn't have any friends. She's in a boarding school, so she's away from her mom and dad, have no friends. Like, that is bound to happen, taken advantage of. Okay, so I understand it, but it's just like, at this point, 30 something years old, multiple people have come out, I think, against this man. You still think you special. Like, you still think like it was consensual. It was, I don't have time. I don't have time. I cannot do it. And I've learned that that's just my thing. When it comes to book like this or grown, I cannot do them. I can't do them. I simply can't. I'm not trying to take away that they are victims or nothing, but I just don't have the patience. That's what it is. I don't have the patience for it to finally click in your head, like what's not clicking, that this isn't right. And I don't know the psychological thing behind it, to how they manipulate these young girls to, you know, because they do manipulate them. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how they really bamboozle them like this. Because, I mean, I understand for her situation. Again, she ain't had no friends. She had no family there. She was easy prey. She really was. No cap. She was easy fucking prey. That's just simple as that. But at the same time, you got people who got friends. They still become easy prey because they really manipulate these girls into like cutting off their friends for them. So it's like, it doesn't really matter if you have friends or not. It's just, they're just narcissist and manipulative and evil, period, point blank, period. But I just don't have the patience for 40 fucking pages in a chapter to get to the point where she, you know, finally wakes up and sees like, oh, this guy is actually fucking evil as fuck, and I need to be on the side of the girl who messaged me on Facebook and be like, yeah, he is a fucking predator. I just don't have time. I don't have the patience. It's really the pages count. I don't know what it is. It's like some psychological shit going on with me, where if it's long pages in a chapter, I just can't. I'd be fighting for my life. I cannot read it. I just need it to be a little bit quicker. I just can't. Or maybe it was just very slow paced. Because again, how many pages is this? But that's the difference. That other book, the chapters were small. The chapters were short. Because this book don't even have that many freaking pages than the other book that I read under 24 hours, but it was also short chapters in that. It's just something, I don't know. But anyways, my Dark Vanessa, I may, because I heard it was really good. I heard it was really good, and I don't doubt that it's a really good book. But it's just, we just gonna put a sock in it for right now. So, yeah. I wasted like damn near almost what, 12 minutes just talking about that book. But anyways, yeah, my Dark Vanessa, that was my first DNF of December. Now the next DNF that I had, again, because all these books are going to just be all over the place as far as genre goes, but Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. How did I go from that to this? Bitch, I don't fucking know. And I DNF'd it. I only read like the first chapter. I didn't even finish the chapter. Damn. I thought I was pushing myself to finish the chapter. Let me see. Hold on. I'm looking. I stopped in chapter 1. I didn't even get to chapter 2. Because usually I was like, I'll read the first chapter and then I stop. You know. Because I was just trying to see how I would feel about it. Oh my god. This is like a fucking rom-com in a book. But I don't even know if that's good. And I thought it would be good because it's supposed to be like a fake dating trope. And I really do like that trope. But I don't know. I think it was doing all these movie name droppings, I mean. And I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. And that's when I realized that this is really... I ain't trying to be mean. And I mean this in like the most sincere way that I could possibly say this. But this is definitely for like... This ain't for people like this. And I'm not saying that people like this can't read it. But it has to depend on what type of movies you watch. Like, don't get me wrong. I like me some movies, and I watch movies from all, you know, backgrounds, whether it be black, white, I don't care. Okay, but this, the movie name, romance movie, book dropping name, what am I like the romance name, like movie, romance movies, name dropping that were done in this book. I didn't know what movies they were because I never like watched those movies, so I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I just knew this was like this like cheesy white people rom-com pretty much in a book, and I was like, oh no, because I don't even know what movies you're talking about. When she kept just naming names, and she talked about this movie she and her mom watched all the time. I don't know what it was because I've never seen it or even heard of it for that fact. Like, it wasn't like something that I would just know. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like very known, I think. Not to me, at least. I ain't never heard of the title of the book. I meant the movie that the girl was talking about in the book. But I think it just was, I wasn't in the mood. I really wasn't in the mood. So that's that on it. Okay. The next book that I have, this is something I think I will probably hop back into eventually, cause I think it's gonna be really good. But it was rubbing me the wrong way. Let me explain why. The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. Now again, this is what I'm telling y'all. My books are all over the fucking place, cause this is really like a Halloween type theme book. And I'm reading this in December. Now y'all already know I don't care about seasonal books like Halloween, Christmas. I read books when I want to read them, period. So I just don't do that. I don't do Christmas books either because I really don't care for Christmas. But anyways, The Weight of the Blood, Tiffany D. Jackson. I ended up DNFing this. Reason why I DNF'd this is because this is pretty much like a spin-off of Carrie from Stephen King. But this is Tiffany D. Jackson's spin on it. So again, it's like Carrie, but with a racial twist to it. And that's why I had to DNF it. Because I'm going to tell you this right here, right now. I don't know if you guys don't know this, but I'm black.
Oh my god! Wow!
Okay. I don't know if you guys, you may have not noticed, but I think I'm black. Okay. And so that being the case, I'm going to be truly honest. If you get offended, that's on you. You can gladly unsubscribe. But I'm going to be real. I'm going to be honest. I don't do no one drop rule shit over here. It just doesn't do that. It doesn't work over here. Okay, and so you have this girl who's biracial. It's just as simple as that. She's biracial. Okay, black mother who we've yet to know who she is, because again, I didn't even get that far. We know supposedly the father's supposed to be very, very weird. I didn't get too far to understand why he was so weird or something like that, but like when it got discovered that she was biracial, because they were supposed to be running in the gym outside on tracks or whatever, and she could tell that the storms were coming in. She was like, oh my god, please, it's gonna rain, I can't do this. And the gym teacher just said, get over it, Maddie, run. It starts raining, and of course her hair gets into a poofy afro. Okay, so poofy afro, and then so again that's, I guess, exposes that she is I guess what they presumed to always just be white. I guess because she's probably very fair skinned for being biracial, and I guess she, you know, had her hair straightened until the rain hit it. Girl, the afro came through, or the curls, really, probably was the curls if we're really being honest. Curly afro came in, and so people automatically went from her being white to her being black, and I was just like, okay. But I let that pass because we were dealing with ignorant folks, so I was letting it pass then. Then we realized again, like how they said, like black quarterback and stuff like that, he is dating this white cheerleader, and so he's always talking about how, like, whenever it's something going on with a black person or something, they always feel the need to ask him, is it okay to speak on it, or whatever case may be. Mind you, there are other black kids at this school who are actually like black, like visibly black, but he doesn't even like talk to them. He only talks, I guess, to the white kids and stuff like that. I don't know, girl. But what made me had to put this put a DNF in it, and had to put like a fork in it, is when I guess it was going all around school about how, oh, did you see Maddie and how, like, her hair and stuff like that, and then that she's black and all this stuff like that. It's the line that he said about some shit about how, like, how are we not able to tell, like, who is our own? Like, let me just read it for y'all. And it was something about that made me have to DNF it. Cause I was like, your own? She ain't no more your own than she is to the white folks away. Like, that just, again, I don't do that white, the one drop rule crap. I don't do that. So it's just like, what are you talking about? You need, what you mean? It really ain't that serious. But again, this is gonna be set in a racial tone thing, and I don't even know what year this is set in. So I'm just like, well, what's going on? I don't know, baby. But it was just doing, I just, and I feel like it is gonna be good. But I'm trying to learn and see how, I don't know, like, it was just doing a little too much, and I'm just like, how you gonna talk about how we not able to tell who is our own or something like that? Bitch, you don't even talk to the other black kids who are visibly black at the school. Yeah, your own, the biracial one that you didn't even know because she was probably that pale and just had straight hair, probably, I don't know what. Rocky, you gotta stop, bud. I can't pet you and do this at the same time, girl. But anyway, I'm just like, boy, you don't even talk to the motherfuckers that's there that you can tell is black. What are you talking about? I was like, I ain't got time. So I gladly DNF'd. I gladly put it to the side. And that's that on that. Will I probably hop back into it? Maybe one day. Maybe when I'm starting this new trend when I read my books, where it's like I'm trying to put aside my personal feelings and just read the book for what it is and rate it. Like, I'm debating on how I want to do these wrap-ups from now on. Like, do I want to do like 2 different ratings? Rating for my personal, like, opinions and shit like that that's being executed in the books, and then another rating for how it's just, what it is, what it does, how I feel about it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because, like, putting my personal opinions on stuff is why I didn't have so many books. I'm like, personally, I don't like that, so I'm not gonna read it. But it could really still be a good book, and just I be really putting my personal stuff in it. You feel me? You get what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like, let me know how you guys feel if I do 2 ratings. Like, how I feel, again, would be that it's a DNF. But what is really written in this book is really, really good. It's entertaining. If you push aside the other stuff that will make me DNF it, it could be like maybe 3, 4, or 5, whatever star rating it could be. I don't know. But again, I'm also probably gonna hit y'all with a going back into my DNF video this year, just so you know I could just stop, you know, giving up so quickly. You know, that's gonna be a video to expect in the year. But yeah, The Weight of Blood. It was, you know, it was just, they were getting a little annoying, and they were being a little too ignorant for my taste. So I had to just put that on, put that to the side, okay? Now this one, again, all over the place. Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney. Did I not say it was all over the place? Why did I hop right into this? Actually, I didn't hop right into this. I actually did finish some books before I got into this, which you will see in like the later part of this video. But I DNF'd it for the simple fact that I wanted to read something else. It wasn't like I didn't like it or enjoy it. I actually loved Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I actually collected the first first 4 books of the series because I want to actually hop back into them. My goal is actually to collect all of the books of Diary of a Wimpy Kid because I used to read this when I was a kid. You know, you have the kids who are Harry Potter fans and stuff like that, and then, you know, people who read Percy Jackson, and then you got the Diary of a Wimpy Kid kids, and I am one of those. So yeah, I'll probably finish it in January. It was just simple fact of I picked something else up and then I just never hopped back into this, but it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it or nothing. It's just, I don't know. I actually did have some laugh out loud moments that I didn't realize this book was that funny until I started reading it as an adult. So, but yeah, that was really it. It wasn't nothing crazy, you know. Okay, and then the next and the last book that I ended up DNFing in the month of December is going to be Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Now hear me out. And this is the thing, because I asked you guys which book I should read. I even made a community, like a short of me showing you guys that this is what I was currently reading. I posted a short to you guys about how I was reading this, and I asked you guys which book should I hop into, this or the second book in the Good Girl Bad Blood. That was the name of it. Good Girl Bad Blood. So I asked you guys either to read that or this, and this one, and I DNF'd it, and so I hopped into it. Okay, so I already knew from the get-go this was not supposed to be a romance book. It's supposed to be like a woman's literary fiction book, something like that along those lines. So, okay, I knew it was supposed to be like a little bit of romance, but not too much, and I heard really good things about this. Now, there were just a lot of things, not a lot of things, but too many things that really ticked me off, and that I stopped at chapter 5, page 60, where I decided to stop reading this, and I was done with the book. First off, it was a scene where at this point, I guess you guys know, it's supposed to be also a second chance romance. Again, it's not predominantly romance, but it has a little bit of romance in it, and it's supposed to be second chance. The main character Yasmin and her ex-husband, what's his name, Josiah, got a divorce. I'm already concluding why they got a divorce. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know for sure because again I didn't finish the book or get that far to it being explained, but I kind of got the subtle hints that I figured she had like a stillborn, which is pretty much where the mother still has to birth said child even though the child is pretty much deceased. So that's like very like triggering and like trauma as fuck, like traumatic as fuck, honestly. I mean, obviously having a miscarriage is like traumatic as well. I've concluded without actually knowing if it's technically true, but I genuinely feel like that's what happened in this case, which is why it has made a strain on their relationship. I know it. She talked about how she had a depressive stage. She was very depressed and just out of whack, and a lot of stuff happen. If you gotta tell, because they keep talking about like when they see a baby, she kind of like gets a little, I don't know how to describe it, but she sees a baby and it just kind of like, ooh, it sets her, like, not sets her off like she like acts erratically or anything like that, but you could just tell by the tone in the book that something has went down with the baby. Let's just say that much. And they have 2 kids, a girl and a boy. Whew, I got some things I gotta say. Okay, so first strike that really ticked me off, and this ain't really nothing with like the author, it's more so like the characters. It's just like the plot of which the author wrote the characters. Like the situation that went down really had me peed the fuck off. Okay, so the first thing is supposedly the father, because he doesn't live in the house with the kids, but he only lives like maybe a street away or 2 streets away. Like I think they live in the same neighborhood, but it's a big neighborhood, so he lives on another street. So he ain't far from the kids. He lives in the same neighborhood, but they don't live in the same house. So it was a scene where Yasmin was coming back from dinner with her 2 friends, because one of her friends it was their birthday, and so they had like little drinks and their girls night out, bada bing, bada boom. And it was Josiah's responsibility to get the kids home, make sure they were doing the homework, bada bing. Now when I mean home, I mean her home that the kids pretty much stay in, live in with, okay? But again, he lives on the other side of the street, or the other side of the neighborhood, bada bing, bada boom, right, okay? Supposedly, he has something going on with the chef. The chef of the restaurant they both own. She is an amazing chef, and it's something romantic, you know, going on between the chef and Josiah. Tell me why this motherfucker got this other woman inside Yasmin's house. They supposedly over here playing some game. I don't know what it is, some damn game. They playing a game. Why do you have another woman in this girl's house? And the fact that it was not even really acknowledged to the extent it needed to be acknowledged to. Like, it was brought up, like, everything done, the girl had left the house to sit in the car waiting for Josiah, I guess, to take her maybe back to the restaurant to get her car. I don't know what the fuck going on. She kind of said it to like, why the hell is she in my house? But then it was like never, you get what I'm saying? Like, it was just never, the question was never answered, I feel like. And that shit, I had to pause while I was reading this for the longest of times, trying to understand, why the hell is this bitch in the house? Why would you allow another woman in this house? In my house? And it's like literally not being acknowledged to nothing. Like, it's just, it was brought up and then it was done. Is y'all motherfucking crazy? I know y'all crazy, but you that crazy? Okay. Okay. That just, okay, not only that, it is a very strained relationship between the mama and the daughter. Very strained. Like, I just, like, don't get me wrong, it's been plenty of times where I've heard, and even myself, as obviously I have a mother, stuff like that, you know, when you get to a certain age, the daughters and mothers, or at least that's what they love to portray, the daughters and mothers, when the daughters get to a certain age, butt heads. Okay, and that's, I feel like, in a way, normal, but the way that Ryan wrote it, she wrote that shit a little too much. Like, that was not, to me, any daughter coming of teenage age, mother button head. That was just straight up disrespect and rudeness. It didn't have, like, that, I don't understand. And again, this could be, no, I'm not even gonna justify it with saying, oh, maybe I should have read a little bit more to try to get a little insight as to why the daughter the way she was. But no, it was no more reading I needed to be done for me to, like, see. It was just a plain, blatant disrespect between the daughter towards her mother. And it was just like, why did you write that like that? Not only did you write it like that, the daughter has no problem being buddy-buddy with the chef, but yet you treat your mama like shit, and like nobody acknowledges it. Like, not the father, like no one checks it at all. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit later, because there's a scene with his ass and the daughter, and that shit pissed me the fuck off. That's when I DNF'd the book, when I got to that scene. But anyways, why is the lady in the house, why is the daughter acting like a total biatch? Like, I just want to pimp slap the shit out of her, because she's so, like, that shit was wild. It was just wild as fuck the way it was written. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So those were like some 2 strikes, bitch. I ain't enjoying this. The third one, and this is when I really knew this couldn't get past a 3-star for me. It was gonna be 3 or below. It wasn't gonna get past it. Someone explain to me why in any book, I don't care if it's to drag, because even I feel like she was trying to drag, but she didn't drag. She didn't drag well enough for my liking. But why is R. Kelly being mentioned in any fucking book? Explain to me why. R. Kelly was mentioned shortly in this book, and that's when I knew I wasn't going to finish this or like this book. And the thing is, the dragging, I guess she was trying to do with his name, didn't do well. I'm gonna read y'all where is it, because I know I had to. So it says, I'd better walk around some, I say. I should make sure the DJ is set up and ready to go. There's a DJ, So Dad, I guess that's how you pronounce her name. So Dad asked. She may appear prim and proper and pent up, but get a little sangria in her and put on some early 2000s. I didn't even know that. Why did she write like that? Just say 2000. But it says 2000. Backstreet Boys, and you got a party animal on your hands. I've borne witness. If he plays Tone, Hendrix says, I warn you right now. Dignity is out the door and Crunk will be activated. Feels Good is my party anthem. Your anthem? Josiah asked, humor bending the stern line of his mouth. Used to be Step in the Name of Love, Hendrix tisks and shakes her head, but R. Kelly ruined that. Pervert genius. Pervert genius. Why did that even need to be a line in this book? There are plenty of music and songs that have like Cupid, it's just so many songs that could have been mentioned as far as like a dancing song in the black community that you could have used. Instead, you thought it was okay to mention R. Kelly. A whole child rapist and molester. Why? And then the way you try to make it seem as if like you're talking, like, you know how when books or just in general they try to mention somebody who's done something bad and they try to like talk bad about them in a book. You get what I'm saying? Like, again, you mentioned R. Kelly would have been perfect, but he's a sick pervert bitch ass motherfucker. Like, you could have did a lot better than pervert genius. You still called him a genius. That wasn't an insult. You still called him a genius. He's not a fucking genius. He's a fucking pervert, child molester, child rapist. What are you fucking talking about? You get what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't like an insult. You get what I'm saying? Like, you kind of... When I read that, I already knew I was not finishing this book or I would like it. Because the only reason I want to hear R. Kelly name being mentioned in the book if it's like Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. If it ain't like that and like pretty much like talking about the abuse that motherfuckers like him put on young girls, okay? If it ain't like that, I don't need to be hearing that motherfucker's name in a book. That's what I'm saying. Like, the way, I guess you could say she was trying to talk down on him, it wasn't good enough. That was not a talking down like statement that she made of R. Kelly, in my opinion. And therefore, it just didn't need to be written in the book. And that already put a bad taste in my mouth. And girl, I didn't even want to continue. I didn't want to continue about why I didn't have the book. Because that wasn't even the main, that was the main reason, but that wasn't the only reason. The last reason was another situation where the daughter is pretty much talking shit about her own mother. And the thing is, the father did not address it or correct it at all. Like, divorce or not, you did not correct the situation of what she said or what she did at all. Bitch, I hurry up, close that book, and put it to the side. We done with the DNFs. We done. And we just gonna go ahead and hop into the books that I finished. And the ratings that I gave. Alright, so I told you guys, I finished 7 books. The first book that I have, I ended up giving like a 4.75. 4.75. I don't have the actual physical book because I read it on my Kindle. And also, before I even talk about the book, okay. So, before I even hop into this, I gotta shout out Means23 at Means23. I gotta shout her out because she is the reason why I read the series, okay? Because if you guys remember, I want to say maybe my November wrap up, I talked to you guys about books that I had read, and I was currently on the lookout for some black erotic books, hence why I read a certain book in that month. And so she ended up giving me a list of books that I should check out that are of black couples and stuff like that. And so this is how I ended up reading the first, like, well, not the first, all 3 of the books in the series. And the first book in the series I ended up giving 4.75. I'm trying to realize why didn't I give it a 5-star. Why didn't I give it a 5-star? I don't know. I think I'm changing my rating. I think every book I read this month is, or last month I should say, 5-star. I'm like, why did I rate it 5? Why did I get 4.75? I don't know. But I'm changing the rating right now. I gave it a 5-star. I'm doing it all 5 stars. All the books I read this month or last month, 5 stars. So yeah, I changed that. But I'll still go ahead and talk about this series. It is The Art of Hood Love. The title still sounds atrocious. I ain't gonna cap. It still sounds atrocious. Let's just be honest. The Art of Hood Love, really? But nonetheless, I gave all 3 of the books, which is The Art of Hood Love, Savvy, Shabu, and I want to say the last book was titled Love. So The Art of Hood Love, Love, The Art of Hood Love, Shabu, The Art of Hood Love, Savvy. And I gave them all 5 stars. I really enjoyed all 3 of them. Okay, I love the side characters as well. The drama. Oh, it was so much drama. I ain't gonna cap, the last book did leave us on a cliffhanger. Okay, I feel like it did as far as like certain things and certain topics, but I will read you guys when I say, I just gotta tell you, check it out for yourself, okay? It's a page turner. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so you have to have a Kindle or the Kindle app. I don't believe you can even buy the physical books. I don't think there are physical copies. It's just on Kindle Unlimited. I love the story. I love the plot. The last book didn't take me no time to read. I don't know why it took me so long to read the second book. I think because there's just a lot of stuff going on. So, and plus when I read at night, girl, I be getting tired. I don't know. I see why people read before they go to sleep, because this definitely does kind of put you to sleep. Not because it's bad, but just because of, I don't know, just reading. And then I have, you know, I got my little clicker now, so I really don't even got to tap now. I got my little stand on, so my Kindle is connected, and I just be laying, clicking and shit. But I be living my best life, honestly. But The Art of Hood Love by Antoinette Sherrill, I highly recommend. It's really good. I really love the plot. And I really love the side characters as well, okay? It was just so good. If you guys want to get like a little bit more in detail, because it has been a while since I read it. So, it's like, it's not slipping my mind, but it's kind of slipping my mind. Go check our thread out. What thread was that? This was in, again, my November wrap-up. It's a long-ass thread, like 58 replies of me, at Toya Haley, and at Memes23, because she gives a list out of some urban romance books that you guys might want to check out yourself. You guys can find out on that thread and read them yourself. But baby, we had a long conversation just about books, especially on that thread. It's been a fun time, I ain't gonna cap, okay? But yeah, The Art of Hood Love, the 3-book series, and I believe there's supposed to be some more books coming out with the side characters. I'm really excited for. I really loved it so much. I love the characters Savvy, Shabu. They be having a drama, but at the end of the day, they get it situated and settled. But I highly recommend. The next book that I have, well, it's a manga series, and this is none other than My Love Mixup Volume 1. Sorry you guys can't really see, it's kind of washed out because it is all white. But the synopsis of this reads, Aoki has a crush on Hashimoto, the girl in the seat next to him in class. But he despairs when he borrows her eraser and sees she's written the name of another boy, Ida, on it. To make matters more confusing, Ida sees him holding that very eraser and thinks Aoki has a crush on him. So that's the synopsis of the first volume. And I said this in like my top books of 2023. This reminds me a lot about didn't I say this? But it was 2 boys. It reminds me a lot of like Blue Flag in a sense. It did. Because you got the 3 characters, the 2 guys and the girl. But it kind of got like a twist to it. You'll know, because obviously with this it's the two boys. With that one it was the boy and the girl, but when you read it you'll understand. It kind of has some similarities in that sense, and also it's a school setting. But I love like it's very funny. I like the I want to say Aoki, because he's very funny. He's really funny, I ain't gonna cap. He is. And I like what's his name, Ida. I like him too, because he's more of like the serious type, and then you have him who's like the funny type, and then she's very Hashimoto. She's very sweet and like so cute. Okay, but the plot twist at the end got your girl screaming. Okay, because the plot twist, it's a plot twist at the very end of the first volume, so it definitely makes you want to hop into the second volume, which was my plan. But for some reason, I think it's because I was reading the Art of Hood Love, that I didn't hop back into any more manga volumes, because the Art of Hood Love series was like the last 3 books that I read, and the 7 books I read this month. In the beginning it was the manga. But yeah, I definitely will hop into, because I have volume 2 right here on my nightstand. I will be hopping into that this month of January. But yeah, I really enjoyed the first volume. Definitely would recommend it too. I think this is also like only 8 or 9 volumes in this series, and it is completed. But yeah, this is another reason why I think it's so similar to Blue Flag, because Blue Flag only has 8 volumes and it's completed. And again, school setting, romance, stuff like that, sexuality. That's why I really see like the similarities between the two of the series. But I definitely recommend this one. It's really fun. I love the art too. The art is very good as well. And last but not least, I know what you're saying, girl, you only talked about 4 books, but that's because these 3 other volumes, I should say, are from the same series. It's volumes 1, 2, and 3, and that is Assassination Classroom. This is volumes 1, 2, and 3. I finished them literally back to back to back. Like, I finished one, hopped into the other, then I finished the other one, and I hopped into the 3rd volume. I really enjoyed these. I'm still enjoying these. I'm currently also reading volume 4. Oh, that's right up there. Reading volume 4 of Assassination Classroom, so definitely, best believe, be expecting some more volumes in my January wrap up at the end of the month. I'm really enjoying this. It's so good. It's so funny. I love how they keep trying to bring in people into the classroom to try to assassinate this octopus, and they're not being successful in any bits. But again, it's also the 3rd volume, so we'll see when we get to like the 21st volume towards the end of the series how it all goes down. But so far I'm loving the characters, I'm loving the classmates in the classroom, and I'm loving the octopus too. He is actually hella funny, and it's just really good. Okay, I really recommend the series. I think I talked to you guys about this in my best series in 2023 video. I did talk to you guys about this one because I've been enjoying it so far, so I do recommend it to hop into it and read it because it's really good. But yeah, you guys, those were all the books. Oh, and like I mentioned, all of those I rated 5 stars. All of the books in the Art of Hood Love, 5 stars. My Love Mixup, 5 stars, and Assassination Classroom volumes 1 through 3, 5 stars. So everything was a 5-star read. So yeah, you guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I know it was a long one because I was pretty much ranting on my DNFs. But yeah, besides that, I really did enjoy the book that I did read because all of them are 5 stars. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you turn the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.